Hi there, welcome back to another edition of Nothing Exceptional. This episode is an interview with cosplayer the Sloth Goth.
Hi.
So how did you come up with the name of the Sloth Goth? Is there a special meaning behind it?
How did I come up with the name, the Sloth Goth? So my name actually originates from a nickname that I got. It was not through a dream. Yaya Han did not come to me saying, "My dear, I ignite you as the Sloth Goth." No, nothing. It came through a nickname that I got when I was working at a Hot Topic back in North Dakota from a coworker who called me the Sloth Mother because I did a killer sloth impression along with a chicken impression. So she called me the Sloth Mother. That snowballed into Sloth Mom, Fairy Sloth Mother, anything you could basically put sloth in front of, that was me. At the time I wanted to be a photographer and an artist, and I want something funny and something cute, something memorable to be like my tagline, and I created the Sloth Goth because I worked at Hot Topic and it paid, tribute to my favorite mammal, I guess. So I was the Sloth Goth, and all my artsy friend was like, "Oh my god, that's amazing, I love it, it's so funny, it's so you," because even though I was an artist, like so depressed, so artistic, I was still funny as shit, as I am today. So I became a Sloth Goth, and then when I entered the cosplay world, I still wanted to be a photographer over anything else, and I entered it in with the Sloth Goth as my name. Soon that title of like cosplayer, photographer, cosplayer kind of took over my need to be a photographer, and it became, more of a cosplayer than anything else. But I came to the table, the cosplay table, the cos table, with the name the Sloth Goth that I kept from my old Instagram account, and I'm like, "Hey, if I keep this, will you guys accept me?" And I guess everyone did.
Now, from your photos, I've seen Captain Marvel, I've seen Power Girl, I've seen Rick and Morty, I've seen Star Wars. If you had to pick a genre, which one would it be?
Despite me looking like Princess Bubblegum from Adventure Time, I am definitely 100% hands down superhero genre. I have loved superheroes since I can remember. It started with watching Teen Titans on Cartoon Network at the age of 8 years old, in which I identified both with Raven and Starfire. I was both dark and moody and bubbly and friendly, and I loved them both, and I couldn't decide which one I am because I'm both. And that kind of snowballed into like a very secretive obsession with superheroes. And that really came full force when I was actually 16, I believe, when Avengers came out in 2012. Oh, that ages me. Alright, moving on. I was obsessed with the Avengers, and that really introduced me into the superhero world. And that same summer, The Dark Knight Rises came out, and I loved it. Despite what anyone else says, I love The Dark Knight Rises. And I am just a superhero girl in the superhero world.
You have plans for upcoming cosplays posted online where it's like the She-Hulk, Black Cat, Miss Marvel, etc., etc. How are those coming along for you?
Will, I'm so glad you brought this up, because not only am I a cosplayer, but I'm also a YouTuber. I'm also a content maker, and which usually on my YouTube I post videos about goal making and goal maintaining pertaining to cosplay. And at the beginning of 2019, I actually posted a diagram on my Instagram that I have actually right here about cosplays that I want to create in 2019. Some of them I've been wanting to do for years, others I've just actually started. One of them is Miss Marvel, which just basically came to me in a dream. I just woke up one morning and I was like, I want to be the original Miss Marvel. And I started working on her, and she's almost done. I could taste it. Another one is She-Hulk, who is like I mentioned before, will hopefully debut at Fargo Moorhead Comic Con. I set goals for myself, pretty not like super drastic, but like super maintainable and reachable, because these are characters that I adore, that I enjoy being in, that I'm so excited in interacting with my friends, and if we're like in the same universe, they're all going well. Even like something as small as like Black Cat, who I have not even attempted to start, I am still like, she's going great. I have nothing for her yet, but she's going great. Because that's the kind of mindset you need to have when you're planning to cosplay something. You're like, I have no business in doing this. None of my friends are in this universe. Like, this will just be like a me project, but it's fine because I'm so excited about this character, because I remember watching her when I was like 5 or 6 years old, and she would like the episodes where she would interact with Spider-Man, I would be like, oh, my love. Funny that I turned out straight.
So, when the Valkyries of the Valley flyer came out, how many dead bodies did you actually have to hide after you saw they misprinted your name as the Goth Sloth instead of Sloth Goth?
Oh my god, whatever though, right? Because at least they didn't like print my full legal name in their flyer, and like that's all I care about, man. Because when you're in a burlesque group, the last thing you want is like creepers on Facebook like friending you, which still happens. But you know, like you have bigger fish to fry. It's totally fine. I wasn't really worried about it considering I was their only cosplay guest for that weekend as well, and no one really noticed it. I think it took me a couple days to actually notice it myself. But I just figure pick and choose your battles. No tea, no shade spilt. No tea in the shade.
Everyone kind of has their own story as to why they cosplay. Like, personally, I'm a nerd that used to love comic books when he was a kid, never lost that love, and it's just kind of followed me around to where I'd kind of dress up like the characters now and then. What got you started in it?
What got me started in it dates back to the late 2000s, early 2010s, where I was an artist and I would love to draw obviously anime back when I was a kid, and then also draw like superheroes with those lean long legs and those like tiny waist and those big tits. I loved it, and you can kind of see my portrayal of them now in my cosplay as an adult, because I always wear a corset and sometimes multiple bras when I cosplay my favorite superhero characters. And that is what kind of like fueled me into becoming a cosplayer, is like going on DeviantArt and seeing like my favorite characters being portrayed in real life through these cosplayers. And I thought it was so inspirational. I thought, I want to do that one day. I want to be that one day. And it happened when I was 22 years old. And what fueled me being a cosplayer is, I was just talking to a friend about this earlier today, is that I want to portray cosplay in a different light, because a lot of people see cosplay and they think, oh, that's a cool costume, deuces. They share it on Facebook, they like it on Instagram, and they move on with their life. And I want to share cosplay in a different light, and I want to start talking about cosplay as if it was a hobby such as YouTube, or a hobby such as photography. And I think it should just be something that we should accept as like an art among all people, instead of just like this group of nerds. Because nerd culture is so broad these days. Like there's people in the gym, bodybuilding, doing whatever this is, wearing Superman shirts, wearing Captain America tanks, and I'm like, work, dude, work. And I think that cosplay should be brought into that light. What fuels me as a cosplayer is that I hope to one day, you know, express my love of comedy, and being like, you don't have to take yourself too seriously as you actually do, and hopefully someone will watch me on YouTube or this interview or whatever the case may be and say like, oh, I don't have to be like a stick in the mud Barbie to do what I love to do. I can be funny, I can be stupid, I can be sexy, I can do whatever, because I'm a different character right now, because that is the grace that cosplay gives you. So what fuels me as a cosplayer is portraying yourself as something different, something that someone may have never have guessed that you would be. And what started me cosplaying is honestly through art, and the dream that I would be able to portray a character that I love in the most pleasant light possible through becoming them.